Hi everyone, it's Helen here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make my new Gable box. And this is the die set here, and it absolutely comes with loads of stuff in. So let's open this out. I've actually purchased an A4 magnetic sheet to keep everything in place. So the magnetic sheet is not included with this die set. It's just something that I've put in there to help me keep myself organised, because I really don't like losing any of the little dies, because it's always these little ones here that go missing. So this is the die set, and it's a bumper set, it really is. So you get this large one here. This is going to cut our Gable box, and it's going to do everything for you. It's going to do the scoring, and it's going to cut the handle in the right place for you. So let's pop that aside. And here we have some extra dies here for matting, and the outside mats are absolutely beautiful because they have a stitched detail in there too, and we get a whole range of the matting dies, and a nice swirly one here, so it matches it on the side panel as well. And you also get some flowers and some leaves and some labels as well, so we have some lovely label dies here. So I've got this one cut out already. So this is what it looks like when it's layered up together. It's really nice. And you also get a gift tag as well, so that's a nice size gift tag. You can stamp your sentiment on there. There's plenty of room for you to write on the other side. And this is one of my favourite flowers as well. I just love the petal shapes, and this this thing here, so it's the centre of the flower, so it's going to look like that. I don't know if the camera is going to focus okay on there. So I absolutely think that's lovely. Okay, so let's get on with making on how to make the box. Let's put this aside. Okay, so I'm going to be using some Hunkydory cardstock. This is adorable scorable, and it scores and cuts beautifully with all of my dies. So there is one other thing here. A little bit of cardstock does tend to get stuck there because it's so slim and tidy. So try and pop that out if you can. So this was from one of my previous cuts, so let's get that out. There we go. Right, so this is an A4 die set, so you are going to need a large format die cutting machine, so that's going to fit on there literally with a little gap top and bottom. So let's get that taped in place. Just going to use some low tack masking tape. This is purple tape. I think this is from Hunkydory as well. I'll make sure that this is linked down below because I'm using this quite a lot now. So let's get that in place because it can move around on the die cutting plate. So I'm going to be using my Crafter's Companion Gemini. It's the larger one, and I absolutely love it. So I've got my cutting mat, and I'm going to place down my plastic shim, and then the magnetic sheet, and then the top cutting plate as well. Right, so I'm going to run that through, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so that should have cut that out really nicely. So let's pop this out. See, we have this offcut here. The handle's already done for us. Just need to separate all of this section. There we go. So here's the leftovers. There's not much left over at all, and you need to cut two of these. I have one already cut out. So we're just going to be working on this side at the moment. Let's pop our tape over there. I'm going to reuse that. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold all of the score lines. It's all done for you. It's just so quick and easy, and if you have quite a few of these to make, I would keep them all flat and then join them together and still keep them collapsed, and you can decorate them, and once you get to the time of your event you can then make them three-dimensional. So it's really super easy to get a whole load of these done. So this top lid handle part here bends the other way. Okay, so that's everything done. So I have some mats already prepared. So I've used the mats, the two outer ones, so the one that does the stitching detail and the one that just cuts it out. And let's pop that in there. Right, where's my glue? Here it is. I'm just going to glue these on. Okay, so another option that you can do with this lantern box is to use the new trellis dies. I have 2 sets that are out with this collection, and I will pop a picture while I'm gluing this. I'll pop some pictures up so you can see them, and then I'll also pop up a picture of the same Gable box but as a lantern. So you would use the trellis dies to cut a panel into the side of the Gable box, and then you'd put a piece of vellum behind it using one of the dies that will cut the vellum out as well. That's included in the trellis set, and you can just basically use your Gable box as a decorative feature on the table as a lantern, and you can decorate it and just make it as pretty as you want. So I will make sure that you would have seen those photos. Okay, so that is all done. So I have one already prepared. I have 2 now. So I'm going to turn these over and I'm going to glue these together just like so. So let's add some glue. So this Hunkydory cardstock is, it does have a slight coating on the front. Not even a slight, it's definitely got a coating on the front, but it doesn't crack and it scores really well and it folds really well. But because it's slightly sheeny shiny, it's not glossy, it has a nice satin finish to it. It may cause your glue to dry a little slower, so you have that little bit of extra wiggle room. So I'm just going to turn it over and just make sure that my lines are lined up properly. So I want to see the score line just poking out from where they're joined together, because then it's going to fold nicely. Okay, so we've glued that down. Let's press that down, just make sure that's glued down properly. And then what we're going to do is we're going to close it here. No, the other way. We're going to close it this way, so we have the flap here, and we're going to add our glue here. This is one of the easiest ways of joining any box together. And then fold that down, and there you go. You're not trying to join it round and be all fiddly. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside now because I want that to dry fully on both joins before I open the box out and then glue it together. But there's other things that we can be concentrating on. So I'm just grabbing my Gemini Junior plates. This will also fit through the full-size Gemini if you put it in through sideways, so you don't have to use the bigger plates just for little dies. So let's grab the smaller dies now. I have all of my foliage already cut out, so there's just one more flower that I need to do. So use the set of 3 flowers, and maybe even the larger one behind it for a nice big one behind it. I'm going to use the 2 smaller ones because you can make different size flowers depending on how many you use. So I'm going to use cream cardstock because I have 2 pink ones here already prepared. So I'm just going to use the cream. It's nice to have a little bit of contrast in the flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to run this through nice and quickly. These out, and then I'm going to use a flower shaping tool. This one is from Tonic, and I have all my little bits on here as well, so let's just pop these over here. Off you go. Right, it comes with 3 of these, so you can use them as a stylus in your scoreboards, and you can also use them for flower shaping as well. And it also comes with this foam mat as well. So let's get these on here. So use the largest one, the large and the medium flowers. Just do roll motions. I can't really explain. It's more of a you have to watch what I do sort of thing. So roll it round and that should curl up your flower. I'm going to use the smaller one on the other side. Just do exactly the same, just shaping the flower. Okay, so now I can add some glue. Wrong one. Get the right flower. And I wish the sun was shining today, because then I would have better light on my desk. Okay, so now I have to find, here it is, this teeny weeny middle centre. I'm going to use this one again just to push that down. There we go. And add a dab of glue to the centre of the flower. And then pop that in the centre. Okay, so now I have my 3 flowers and I have some leaves as well. So the glue's had time now to take properly onto the cardstock. So we can now put this together. So I'm going to pop these in. I am going to add a bit of glue because due to the size of the box there wasn't a lot of room on the die to create the bottom flap. So we want to make sure that our anything we put in there isn't going to fall through, so we need to make a nice strong sturdy bottom for it. I'm just going to put glue to the sides here and to the side here. Then I'm going to add glue just around the outside here, and then make sure everything's squared off before we press down. So I'm going to turn that over, do exactly the same. And if you're going to put anything heavy in here, I would die cut another one of these mats out of blue, the stitched die. I would die cut that out again out of the same colour of this, and either glue it along the bottom or stick it on the inside, and that should reinforce it if you have something heavy to put in there. Take my bone folder again and just press everything down. Okay, so all we've got to do now is press these two together, and these should slot through these holes here. There we go, that's our gable box. So let's finish off decorating. So as I said before, you can use one of these labels here. I have used a darker cardstock for the actual label because I wanted to keep the pattern going with the layering. You could either do a silver glitter background for this and then add a lighter one. It's just that you may have to do some heat embossing with your stamping for this one to make it visible, so that's an option there if you're going for a darker cardstock for that. So I'm going to just, this is a classic Helen here, I'm just going to layer my flowers. I like my groups of 2s and 1s and mirroring like diagonally. That's kind of how I roll. So I'm just going to add these on. And this would look really nice with a nice bit of ribbon tied along the top. Perfect for weddings, birthdays even. Okay, so adding the leaves. I love leaves as well. So we've made sure that in the die set you have enough to decorate the box as well as make the box, because you know it's really nice to just have everything in one set and you don't have to, you know, go for another set to kind of add on to it. By all means, I do have another set here for rolled roses and flowers with more leaves as well, different shaped leaves to these and sizes. So I have made a few gable boxes with the rolled roses on there too, and they look so pretty. So if you do want to venture out from the flowers that come with this one, I will put a picture of that there, and that set goes really well with the gable box as well. Okay, there we go, and then there's still space here for one of the tags as well, so that could probably go under there and have it layered on there. So I'm not going to put that on there because I want to do some heat embossing on that. Okay, so that is the Gable Box from Simply Made Crafts. I absolutely love it, and I'm going to get some photographs of this so I have a nice thumbnail for the video. So thank you for joining me today, and all this can be bought from Craft Stash, and I'm sure there'll be links down below. And thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.